not even mad at the female. I just know him as a person against our son. It's demonic, bro. It's demonic, bro. It's demonic, bro. Like, he's so disrespectful when it comes to our son. It's disgusting, bro. And you know, oh, I'm answering the phone. I'm saying I love you. I'm gonna be honest, bro. That's out of fear. It's cool. I got my people looking into it. I don't know if I'm going to prison. Is that?
Excuse me, sir. What are you guys arresting her for?
A whole other charge.
A warrant out for what?
Sorry?
A warrant for what, sir?
There's a warrant for us. Yeah, because you gonna record me the whole way?
The whole way, beautiful.
Why?
You're a big star.
Where the drama never stops because even prison bars can't stop Blueface from causing straight-up chaos, he's dropping bombshells from behind bars. And guess what? He allegedly filed a CPS report on Chrisean Rock, which may have led to her being arrested for child endangerment. Yes, miss. While sitting in a jail cell, Blueface thought it was the ideal opportunity to completely turn the script and expose Chrisean in the most outrageous way yet. Now that things are getting hot, he's saying, the real reason why their son Junior might have some medical issues is because of Chrisean, and people are finally beginning to think that he might not just be talking his head. For months, fans have been pointing out in silence in videos of the baby that something seemed a little strange. But Chrisean would always jump to his defense and call people haters who said they were wishing on her child. The whole nine was prohibited from asking questions online without receiving backlash. But Blueface he's been attempting to raise the alarm for some time, and this time he's supposedly doing more than just talking. Here's the thing about Chrisean. Whenever someone brings up Junior or his health, she gets loud but never really explains what's going on. People always hate him or don't know what he's talking about, but they never really give an answer, which makes people feel. Just a few days ago, she went live on Instagram to discuss how Blueface always brings up their son during arguments. However, this time, it was different because just after she flaunted her new mystery man online, yes, a brand new boyfriend, Blueface allegedly picked up the prison phone and immediately began reporting her. Let's face it, Blueface can't stand the idea of Chrisean moving on. Every time she posts a new guy or even flirts online, he starts to spiral. Allegedly, it was a strategy, not just jealousy. According to Blueface's report, there have been allegations of neglect, including that Chrisean has not been providing medical care for their son, who may already be experiencing developmental problems. He even claims to have evidence that she has missed crucial appointments and consistently prioritizes dating and social media over her baby's needs. According to those familiar with the case, CPS may be taking it seriously this time. According to certain sources, they have already retrieved data and are examining all of it, including video from the internet. Mr. Chrisean hasn't fully spoken yet, but she has been giving clues that others are doing too much and that she's simply trying to keep her peace. However, the internet doesn't believe her. No shows, and even how Junior has been showing up in her lives. Even though Blueface is currently in jail, he is still manipulating things, and if this inquiry is genuine, things might quickly become very unpleasant.
You look pretty! That's your boo. I got boo in the video. Period, boo. It's a video, period.
We knew when that video came out that Blueface was going to start coming out of prison, and he really didn't let us down. In addition, he and Chrisean were married in a jail last December in a courthouse, wedding-style ceremony, but he still found time to cheat. He shared a video of one of his side chicks while married to Chrisean.
And we met at work, we were shooting together, and we fell in love. No, but for real, like we just kept looking at each other, kept making eye contact, and we exchanged contacts, and we just chopped it up for a cool minute. And then I came over, chefed it up, made some steak, mashed potatoes, asparagus, and of course I came with dessert that ate up. And then, yeah, we took a bath, cleaned ourselves up, a bubble bath with bath bombs, you know. It was 5-star setup. And then, yeah, history since then.
The moment Kian attempted to move on after posting about her new boyfriend, Blueface reportedly lost it and brought their kid, Junior, into the controversy once more. Then, even though he was out there entertaining other ladies, he still flipped out.
Stan, like, why are you doing this to our son? Like, all right, remember the last year, 2 years ago, he dropped a diss, I dropped a diss, he posted my son on Twitter. He just can't handle when I put my foot down, bro. Paige, it was like one of these girls. She mentioned my son, right? He posts it on his story. I'm not even mad at the female. I just know him as a person against our son. It's demonic, bro. It's demonic, bro. It's demonic, bro. Like, he's so disrespectful when it comes to our son. He hurt our kid. It is so evil. So I need y'all to just let him know our son is off limits while we're not seeing eye to eye. Please.
Christian claims that he used their child as a means of retaliation against her, demonstrating that he is not only careless, but also petty, and cruel in ways that are difficult to defend. However, let's face it, Blueface's treatment of Junior is nothing new. It dates back to when Christian first revealed her pregnancy, when he showed no support at all. In fact, he denied the baby was even his. Hours after she broke the news to the world, he rushed to social media and tweeted to respond to all inquiries, saying, "Yes, me and Rock have formally concluded their work. It's strictly business. I tried it, and until she announced she was pregnant, she was with someone else who wasn't my baby Rock. She had dated 10 men in the previous year before I saw a DNA test that showed it wasn't a blue-faced baby, and then he set the entire internet on fire." Naturally, things quickly became chaotic, with arguments going nonstop and people posting wedding rings and love songs one minute and then the next. But when it came to the baby, Christine finally made the decision to end the relationship. She decided to put an end to the rumors by getting a DNA test, and the results showed that Junior is Blueface's biological son. Everything he said was pointless because the facts were more important than his tweets, but even after the DNA test proved the truth, Blueface hasn't consistently shown the baby love. Instead, he has been using Junior as a pawn in his battle with Chrisean, and now he's turning the drama all the way up from behind prison walls.
What?
It says the alleged father is not excluded as the biological father of the fetus.
Let me hear the father. What? You don't want it to... You don't want it to be it?
I'm saying,
so
are you sure?
weird.
You didn't even read the paper.
You call me dumb, but you the slow one.
It says the alleged father is not... Why they write it like this, though? They could have just been like more player.
Yeah, but they...
Now, let's discuss what happened after Blueface discovered that he was actually the baby's father. Rather than taking charge and managing his affairs like a grown man, he simply made matters worse. You would think that proving he was the father would have served as a wake-up call, that perhaps he would have collected himself and tried to be there for his child. But no, Blueface didn't even blink. In fact, it seemed like the news only made him act more irrationally, becoming even more reckless and heartless immediately after the results were released. Responsibility didn't promise to do better or show love for that child. Instead, he went all out and made it very evident that he didn't want to be involved in that child's life. Not now, not ever. In the background, he was sending her cold Christian messages in which he told her bluntly that having the baby would ruin her life. One of the messages read, "You don't want to be tied down with a baby while I'm out with other girls. I am not going to change who I am. I will continue to cheat," he continued. "I don't want you to be stuck with someone like me, so I want you to live my way." Imagine that while she is pregnant with his child, this man tells her not to expect anything. Not support, loyalty, or even honesty. When she revealed that she would keep the baby anyhow, he lost it and immediately posted a messy thread on Twitter that left everyone stunned. He claimed he refused to pay support because he had told her from the start that he didn't want the baby, and he claimed she was forcing it on him. He even told the internet that he was prepared to brace himself because he already knew she wouldn't listen. But even after that baby was born and the world saw him holding his son Blueface, he still wasn't claiming that child with any pride. He began saying the DNA test felt off, acting as though something was wrong with the whole situation and that she still had time to end it. I told her I didn't want any baby. She was trying to play me. Don't fall for it. Things like that test didn't seem right. I wasn't even in control of it. Something felt weird from the jump. I only got 2 kids with 1 baby mama, that's it. I'm not adding anything else unless I get proof. Until then, I'm free, he stated at one point, accusing another male of being the reason the baby looked more like him than Blueface. This simply made my entire year. The situation became even more complicated as time passed, though, and Tiny Jr. began. Growing fans began to notice something that was unavoidable. He wasn't developing like other babies his age. With his crying, his movements, and his responses, people could tell something wasn't right. At the same time, Blueface continued to cause drama online and use the baby as a means of mocking Chrisean. The baby's development and health became a hot topic, not only because of online rumors, but also because actual people were genuinely worried that the child didn't pick any of this. But he's the one who finds himself in the midst of an endless back and forth between 2 parents who are unable to come to an agreement when rumors began to circulate that Junior might be experiencing developmental problems. Not only did Blueface jump on that bandwagon without hesitation, but he did so in an unhelpful manner as well. Rather than providing support or concern as a present father would have, he took advantage of the situation to publicly criticize Chrisean, pointing fingers and sharing personal information without any filter. He went straight to Twitter and put Chrisean on. She smoked a blunt on the way to the hospital she was about to perform while she was in labor and smoked all the way to giving birth, he tweeted, accusing her misbehavior during her pregnancy as the true cause of Junior's difficulties. You really think I can't take custody? I didn't want to, but if she keeps slipping, I'm going to have to do what's best, he continued. Then he truly went off, saying, "My son wasn't healthy from birth because, according to him, she drank, smoked, and got into fights during her pregnancy. She was unable to relax for a month, and just when people thought things couldn't get any worse, Blueface revealed Junior's private medical information, including the fact that he had a hernia that Chrisean hadn't yet received treatment for. Then, he did something completely inappropriate by posting a private medical image of the baby and discussing how my son looked, which made her worried about me and Lil Baby. Fix your kid first. We're immediately troubled, not only by the post, but also by the fact that he tolerated criticism." "It's my son," Blueface retorted, "so I can post anything I want. Who's going to check me?" Not content, he launched into another lengthy tirade asserting, "Baby still hasn't had the surgery. She's out here lying, saying he's healthy while constantly talking about me. Fix our son first, then worry about your next man." He requested that everyone include Chrisean in his. He even accused her of doing nose candy again in an attempt to get the internet to support him. He tweeted, "I tried to keep it low, but she keeps pushing me. You're not fit to be a mom, missing appointments, pushing surgeries back just to go out and party." Blueface said that he had flown to Baltimore for what he believed to be Junior's surgery, only to discover that the appointment had been missed. Chrisean denied everything, claiming that Blueface was simply, "He knows the appointment is scheduled with the surgeon already, and I've been going to every checkup in Baltimore. Don't play with me like I'm not showing up. You're trying to use this situation just to get my kid taken from me." "I'm doing my best," she said, firmly clapping back when she perceived that she was being irresponsible in an attempt to take her son away. Reminding Blueface that he had a severe case pending and that his probation officer was still attempting to lock him up, she advised him to focus on his own legal situation. The internet wasn't buying it. They pointed out that every time she got caught, she shifted the blame, and now she was trying to convince everyone that she was stuck in some sort of soul tie with Blueface, as if that was the reason she couldn't move on. Chrisean started posting as though she was cutting ties with Blueface, acting like she was done for real this time. But the fans had started paying closer attention, and many were starting to see through the chaos. She even shared a message on social media that left fans wondering if she was changing her ways. She said, "I don't want to rock no more. I don't want to be famous. I messed up. I should have stayed in school." She claimed that having Junior was giving her a second chance at life. She was obviously attempting to keep all of her previous turmoil and heartache apart from the one thing having a child won't stop me from getting my bag. It won't stop me from learning, loving, or putting time into myself. I don't need $1 from anybody to take care of this child. I'm blessed and highly favored. That's all that matters right now, she said, repeatedly insisting that she prayed for her child and that she was ready to move on, let go, and detach from things that no longer served her peace. To top it all off, she told everyone that she was prepared to record her journey, including its ups and downs, and that she was determined to come out on top. Then she revealed that she was cutting Blueface off permanently, saying that telling him no that day was the first step toward her freedom. However, she didn't stop there. She talked about how difficult it was to completely detach, asking, "How do you cut off a soul tie?" Although she was making an effort, she acknowledged that she still felt as though she was giving a part of herself to a man who, "This man texted me today, and I almost fell for it." "Like, what am I even doing right now?" she said, expressing her confusion because she obviously didn't want anything to do with their child. She glanced at Junior and realized that she was now someone's mother. "Cut the selfish, immature mess out," she told herself. After that, she sent Blueface a scathing message with instructions to stop texting and phoning her and to find someone else to bother. That his actions were dangerous and unclean, and that he should exercise caution before he got something he couldn't get rid of. It was intensely emotional, and fans hoped she was finally waking up and prioritizing her son. However, just when it seemed like she was taking things seriously, things started to change again, and not in a positive way. After that crazy Instagram live she did back in January, where she was defending tattooing Blueface's people were already giving her the side eye, but what really got them talking was the sound of Junior crying in the background. It wasn't just any baby crying either. Something about it didn't sound right, and people began to say that his cry didn't fit the sound of a typical infant. Rather, it was as if something deeper was going on. The chaos of the moment was exacerbated by the crying, and that's when people started to worry that perhaps Junior was dealing with more serious issues than Chrisean had been letting on. Furthermore, she wasn't in a rush to allay anyone's worries.
In relations with Blue, we were still rough, on and off, whatever case may be. Alright, cool. Alright, cool.
However, things really took a turn for the worse when fans noticed something more than just delayed crying. They pointed out that Junior might be experiencing severe vision problems because in clip after clip, he was seen simply staring into space, not responding to movement or attempting to grab anything, unlike other babies his age. He was able to hold his head up, but it still seemed like something wasn't adding up.
Louisiana chicken pasta. And we got the baby mashed potatoes. Let's pray for the food. Look at his shirt too. It's like Jesus.
Oh, that's great.
Baby. That's his name though. That's his middle name.
Jesus?
Yeah.
That's cool. Chrisean Jesus Malone. That's a famous name right there. Junior's gonna grow up to be.
However, many people were no longer buying it. Instead of gently addressing the issues or clearing the air, Chrisean instantly went on Instagram Live and got very defensive, stating that her daughter was perfectly okay. She pretended that people were being inquisitive or nasty without cause.
We be talking, walking, playing football, everything. Who is y'all to tell me what he diagnosed with, what he look like, what he sound like? Y'all don't know nothing about God, and y'all don't know nothing about nothing. You talking to me like that, so I rebuke everything y'all saying about my child, to be honest. But I like this shit, bro.
At his party, people immediately noticed that Junior wasn't walking and wasn't even standing on his own. Chrisean attempted to make it appear as though he was upright by holding him on her legs and angling him for the cameras. But, regrettably, things took an even more concerning turn when Junior's first birthday arrived. The audience wasn't duped. They could see that she was attempting to make things appear better than they actually were. To be fair, not all children grow up quickly. Some take their time, and that's perfectly acceptable. But when you combine that with everything else, people have noticed the awkward crying, stiff body posture, and lack of eye contact. So it's not surprising that fans were interpreting this as yet another serious warning sign. However, the biggest surprise came when one of the old pals of Christian Janet entered the conversation and revealed some shocking information. She claimed that Christian wasn't just ignoring warning signs. Rather, she was actively preventing others from assisting Junior. Janet claimed that she attempted to get him medical attention, but Chrisean refused to acknowledge it and completely shut it down. To make matters worse, months after that birthday celebration, Christian hasn't taken any action to have Junior evaluated. She even with him at a recent event and placed him on her hip. People saw the same thing again, even though he is almost 2 years old now. The boy was barely able to hold his head steady, which is not something you can ignore, and fans' concerns are growing louder. It was difficult to watch, and for many people, that moment simply confirmed what they had been feeling deep down. Something is seriously wrong, and Christian is doing everything but facing the truth. Carissa, Blueface's own mother, has taken the initiative and placed the blame squarely on Christian for what is happening with Junior. Fans are calling for Christian to be held accountable, and comments are being made online as to why she hasn't been imprisoned for what she did to that baby, how this is obvious neglect, and what condition she is even in. While some are claiming that she should be imprisoned for child endangerment, others are accusing her of avoiding CPS entirely and pointing out that Junior struggles to make eye contact, doesn't acknowledge people like a typical toddler, and isn't walking at his age. All of these issues, they say, could have been prevented if Christian had taken her pregnancy more seriously. One user even wrote that baby never had a chance with the way she was abusing him before he was even born. It's heartbreaking, but it's not going away. Now, this is where things really start to get, because rumors are circulating that Blueface may have even executed the ultimate wildcard play while incarcerated. While in a detention cell, he supposedly submitted a report that has now prompted a formal call to CPS and reported Chrisean for child endangerment. Genuine inquiry into Chrisean's parenting. And to be honest, this development has everyone talking since it's not just fan conjecture anymore. It might be the beginning of Chrisean's actual legal problems. However, despite the story, not everyone is giving Blueface credit. Many others believe he's not acting out of compassion for Junior, but rather out of resentment, believing he's using CPS to seek revenge because Christian finally moved on with someone else. Back at her, leaving us with two messy realities. One, that a baby may not be receiving the care he needs, and another that his parents are too preoccupied with toxic games to act on his behalf. However, I wanted to know if you believe that Blueface is being messy and petty, or if he is finally doing something right, even if it's for the wrong reasons. And if the neglect claims prove to be true, should Christian be held accountable? Please, share your opinions and hot takes in the comments section. To ensure you don't miss the next in-depth look, please leave a comment below and remember to hit the bell and like and subscribe.